afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to an exciting 1v1 on La Grey's Breakout. La Grey's, we shall be watching here IronFox fighting for the United States of America for the 2nd Infantry Division, holding up things here. Ooh, didn't notice most of that. I was actually on fire, interesting enough, but either way. Rolling at it for the 2nd Infantry Division. Rifleman on the way here versus Evanescent. Yes, Evanescent fighting here for Germany, for Deutschland, for the Führer Begleitbrigade. The second of the two Führer bodyguard units mobilized for the fighting in the Ardennes. Sturmpioneers on the way, Volksgrenadiers moving northwards rapidly. Truck hanging about there. Sneak up here. And already a commander choice by here by Evanescent. We are seeing the Breakthrough Commander, I believe it's called. Points there being secured. Point there as well. Riflemen aligning 2 squads so far, and of course the rear echelon troops formed out of, well, whatever's in the rear echelon. Cooks, bakers, shoe polishers. But probably not that, not really useful in the army. But generally non-directly combat troops formed into combat troops, a practice not uncommon in the German army, in particular on the Eastern Front, where they regularly had to fight, usually in the form of Alarmtruppen. There goes Sturmpioneers moving in here, engaging the echelon troops up close with their Sturmgewehrs. Sadly, the M1 carbines won't do much against an assault rifle. Volkswagen moving up here, so far looks like he might be gaining an initial advantage in territory. The Sturmpioneers will have a slight advantage. He needs to be careful engaging with the Riflemen versus Sturmpioneers. One wrong move, and the Sturmpioneers will have the advantage. But here he seems to be finding a bit of range, so that might give him the advantage here. Versus the assault rifles. And there we go, Friedrich went down there, go charging him, but at the same time over open ground. Taking a lot more damage now and suffering much more. And pulling back slightly here though, needs to be careful. And there we go, the Sturmpioneers following up, but at the same time he might give the Riflemen a chance of killing them. Bit dangerous work here, bit of a dangerous small engagement, and we're noting a bit of a move here for the munitions. Folks are taking up positions in this old cafe. Orders! And we're noting already here, he's only gotten 2 Volker squads out, but he's always heading up battle group headquarters, sending up some medics and other fun things there to provide a bit of work. Volksgrenadiers getting out of the cafe. Having had enough of croissants. And they go fuel point on the west secure, whereas the right one is then being secured by the United States. And we're seeing here 3rd Rifleman Squad moving out here for the 2nd Infantry Division. Volksgrenadiers here not quite having a lot of luck, it would seem. They will need more unterstützung from nearby. Volksgrenadiers moving in there in their large great courts. I do love that. And Sturmpioneers reinforcing here. And looks like a Sturmoffizierserei. 1 command point is already thus available here for Evanescent. Ready to push forward. The brigade Truppen. Able to provide a nearby combat bonus to any troops around him. Now mind you, if the officer gets killed, he actually force units nearby to retreat. Well, his staff will force it more specifically. He can also single out units for an attack bonus, so he can also force other units to retreat. Now right here, the officer is here, have no fear. So there we go. Gaining a bit more of the infantry fighting advantage this way versus the riflemen there with their semi-automatic M1 Garands. He could take up the officer in the building nearby, protecting him a bit more solidly. Sturmpioneers moving forward to skin, riflemen going for the victory point by the church. Volksgrenadiers here retreating. Not a lot of units so far here for Mr. Evanescent. There we go, body fire going up from the rear echelon troops. Just trying as quickly as possible to empty the clips on their carbine, traffic charging across on ground here. The Volksgrenadiers getting suppressed, thus allowing the rifle to close in, though they have forgotten about the Sturmoffizier and his Soldaten doing what they can here versus the Amerikaner. Getting up here behind a bit more better cover. Good is up there, Evanescent. The Volksgrenadiers might have to force retreat here. Lieutenant arriving here for IronFox with an ambulance quick to follow up as well. Looks like he's slowly making his way forward here, and the Sturmpioneers as well over here on the right hand side. Sturmpioniere. There we go, the officer moving ahead on his own, boldly like a German officer should. While his command unit there keeps watch as well. Not quite intent on getting horribly murdered.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory, boys. Stick with me. We're taking lead over here.
And then getting near the jump, and it's going to end up losing this one. Not good here for them. And there you go, Lieutenant moving up here. Storm officers should have been pulled into heavy cover, to be honest. Right, he now is actually taking heavy fire there from Rifleman. So they do end up losing one member still. The rest continues moving on there. BR taking up position in the cafe. That cafe is apparently really popular. Must have some really good hot coffee. Anyways, obviously doing what he can with his men, waiting for reinforcements to arrive. And there you go, Panzerfusilier up. A bit of a unique unit. Not a lot of divisions actually had them, and they were generally sort of just another name for Panzer Grenadiers. Though, for example, units like the CoH2 Deutschland had them on the Western Front. The Führer Brigade and Führer Grenadier, or Begleit and Grenadier Brigades, actually had them as well because they were actually formed from CoH2 Deutschland units. A 6-man unit, and a reasonably solid infantry unit as well, can be outgeared with Gewehr 43s. Really nasty, but overall, actually in a lot of trouble now, getting outflanked, outmaneuvered. And we're forced to retreat here. Schnell, Panzerfusilier! Get back! This is not good. And there you go, somehow this Sturmbahn is actually managed to get the drop here on the Rifleman. Looks like someone made a slight mistake there. More folks going to bring up support there. Troops back here for healing and enforcement. And victory point here is secured by the rear echelon troops. And we're noting here, the first unit to come out here after the Lieutenant is the M15A 1AA half-track. Nasty piece of whack. A bit caught on the wrong end off. And for some reason he seems a bit worried about his fuel here, holding up some Volksgrenadiers up here. He's not intending to let anyone get that point, it would seem. Oh, never noticed that they actually have a mark on their helmet. Fancy that. They actually have some detail on the helmet. That's new. But enough about that. Panzerfusilier and Sturmoffizier ready to move out once more. A Kettenwerfer also nearby, ready to deal with any enemy vehicles. There you go, Volkers holding up things here by the fuel point. We're going to need to be a bit careful about that, noting the second Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper has arrived as well. And what is this? He is seemingly very worried about enemy armor. In fact, he's got 2 Rakettenwerfers out here. 2 Rakettenwerfer. The small infantry moving on the right flank, he's sort of trying to shift things up to the centre. It would seem Mr. IronFox here. And Evanescent is to a certain extent playing, but there you go, he's actually moving in the larger force, and that could actually end up being badly for the Rifleman here, since the officer and the puzzlers and the Volkers all get the bonus here. That's going to be a lot of more accurate fire. I should probably just have it if I can't remember. There you go, Rifleman taking quite the beating in the face of the Panzerfusiliers and the rest. And there we go, swiftly moving onwards from here, feeling the west is a bit safe maybe. And the meanwhile on the right hand side, there is rapidly being lost here to American advances. The lieutenant was rapidly pushed away. Looks like he was the first one to heroically step on a mine. 2 Panzerwerfers or Rakettenwerfers working together here, interesting. And using airborne doctrine as a choice here for IronFox. A half moving up, and note, by the way, can't shoot through here. The cabin actually blocked that. There goes, setting up here. And finally, the Panzerfusiliers with a 30mm gun. And it's 2 50 cal machine guns, basically a sort of more heavier version of the air half-track. No, he can shoot the 50 calibers while on the move, but on the other hand, the 37mm gun needs to be sort of static for it to fire. But we're out here doing a lot of damage to the Storm Officers as well. Really laying a lot of fire from machine, the Rakettenwerfer moving up. And there we go, nasty hit there. Air half-track gets the hell out of there before the Rakettenwerfer puts an end to it. Enforcing, holding on, and could it be he's already taking up here? Nope. And a fighting position being established here. And looks like some light grenades might be inbound here for the cafe, but no, looks like just the Rakettenwerfer just firing rocket after rocket into the interior. Troops enforcing back here down at the headquarters. 1 Rakettenwerfer pushed away. I'm not sure why I moved it up that close. That might have been a bit of a mistake there. Lieutenant moving up. Troops enforcing. Ambulance, of course, here to provide healing. And a 50 cal, by the way, has also been ordered in for IronFox and the 2nd Infantry. But over to Evanescent. Bit of a mix of infantry. Also a bit of fuel available. What could he be going for next? What could he be planning? Rakettenwerfer taking up positions here. Officer holding out, but with a little in actual support, might be able to get something up there. And in fact, Evanescent's forces are awfully spread out here at the moment. Need to be a bit careful with that. Need to be a bit careful with that. That could allow IronFox here to strike much more greatly versus him. There we go. Also noting, oh, there we go. Give it a 43 upgrade or recon package for the Panzer Fusiliers, which will definitely increase their overall damage output. Access to grenades, an anti-tank rifle grenade, and flares. There we go. Schwerer Panzer quarters up. Also back here at the base. He could have moved that maybe up a bit further to sort of get something out of that 30-something gun. Looks like he opted against it. Rakettenwerfer still dangerously stuck in the building. And the officer's ready to move up once more. Rakettenwerfer was waiting. No, he could lose it, he could lose it. The crew's awfully exposed here, but no, it looks like they managed to get away from the wrath of Uncle Sam. While the Rakettenwerfer moving up more to the Panzerwerfers and the Sturmpioneers, or the Panzerfusiliers and the Sturmpioneers on the right hand side. 50 cover nicely placed here. And, oh, slightly wrong path. The Dick Kid caught up here by the 50 and the AA half-tank opens up as well. Interesting note, IronFox has not enforced it. Basically there for the Panzerfusiliers, Volksgers, and officer here fighting versus a rather advanced party here from, in fact, the Lieutenant himself, Lieutenant Dan. Does manage to pull it back there. Push it back, and could he be aiming for a Panther? Certainly not be fully unexpected. And there you go, 50 caliber machine gun here on the fighting position. You sort of start out with that, and then you can upgrade it with a 50 cal, by the way. Cost us 60 munitions. Also, if you put vehicle troops inside, they can actually fire rifle grenades out of it, so there's a neat little trick there. Rifleman holding up here nicely. Interesting enough, there's been no upgrade so far for the rifleman, sort of providing them with further weapons. That could have been interesting. Or maybe some grenade upgrades, and there we go. Captain is up. Captain. Moving forwards there with his unit. Decked out with bazookas and other fun things, and there we go. It looks like the Panzer was joining in the advance of the officer. And the rifleman finally decided to bug out. No, Volksgers holding up, there's Rifleman again. A bit of an assault here across home ground. Volksgers might have advantage, though. Now the Rifleman closer, they will probably have advantage since they've actually to a quick grenade here could change things. And there you go. Stielgranate! And that rather put things in his advantage. Assault continuing up here, officer moving, and there you go. Quad mount needs to stop up, though, needs to stop up. And the Panzer Fusilier is getting absolutely shredded here by the AA half-track. We could end up losing the unit, but no, managed to round the corner just barely. That was bloody close there, bloody close. A bit of a massacre there for the Führer Big Light Brigade. Both divisions, or both brigades, were actually sort of later on formed into full divisions. And there we go, officer moving forward, Rakettenwerfer moving in as well. Ooh, slightly risky maneuver though, it looks like most of the American officers' unit. Oh dear, he's trying to hunt down the Rakettenwerfer, but he's leaving himself a bit exposed. There we go, looks like he realized a mistake. Pulls back, and it looks like a Leicht's Infanterie should actually up here for Evanescent. Adding a bit of light artillery, there we go, quick shifting into the off cafe once more. Looks like that cafe is very popular with the Americans. Nasty work there. More rifle moving in there. He needs to reinforce that quickly before it gets cut to collapse. And there we go, fuel catch up. Good job there by IronFox. 50 caliber moving in. Could be used to flank here. The position set up here. That would certainly make it a lot difficult to sort of move anything around here. It looks like grenades have been researched. And oh no, he lost our Rakettenwerfer. It can still be secure. And there go 50 caliber moving up. And we could see the officer going down. Volksgers moving forward. Might try and get off a grenade here. Nope. Officer went down, causing a panic in the nearby unit and a full retreat. IronFox are dominating large the map. He needs to get this repaired. And there we go. Working on it. Nothing further going on here in the German base. Rather moving forward here and engaging The lightest infanterie geschützt. The light artillery piece is in a bit of trouble. Needs to get away, if possible. And there we go. And looks like instead he might sense his Raketenwerfer, and thus a bit of an anti-tank weapon he could seize and place in a building. And there we go. Bit of quiet at the moment. Forces rebuilding. And Obersoldaten on the way here. Good, good. Forces running into a bit of trouble here with the Sukas and the lieutenant. Forces quickly being dashed off the field. The Fuhrer brigades were a bit unique in that they also basically had a 3rd battalion. Most brigades actually only had 2, but still the 3rd battalion was actually composed of old men. More specifically Landesschützen or Landessturm, which were actually reservists meant for sort of holding positions. They were not actually meant for really attacking, but they were actually formed up nonetheless into an offensive unit. Mounted on bicycles and basically told to be panzer grenadiers. Definitely something beyond their usual skill set. But there you go, Panzer is holding up in a bit of this forward building, but coming under rather intense fire here from the half-track, ultimately falls in that. At the same time, Americans also holding things up here. Evanescent might want to consider shifting his axis of attack to sort of try and flank around here and hook around here. That might work better than a head-on assault, which is definitely where IronFox at the moment seems to be excelling a bit. Sturmpioneers officer trying to push through here. A very determined German officer. And there you go, grenade going off, ultimately resulting in a full retreat once more. Ooh, nice hit there. Tearing out a large chunk of the building there. Still short one Raketenwerfer. And of course we got the Obersoldaten as well. Merrily firing away. Captain needs to be careful, very careful in fact. As the Obersoldaten makes their advance. Getting very close to that Panther. It would very much seem he is extremely determined towards getting that. Raketenwerfer recruit, enforced. He might want to consider actually getting an anti-tank gun though, just for good measure. Since it does have more range than the Raketenwerfer, which is probably the most short-range anti-tank weapon in the game. It's a little something to keep in mind, and then he'd probably benefit from putting up into a building like this one, or, well, maybe this one or this one. Sort of a bit more of a better firing arc as well. Ah, he was about to talk something about laying a mine in front of something and it works like magic. Scheisse. Anyways, Rappen holding up here. Minor advance up here by the Sturmpioneers versus the Lieutenant. Vetri 3, those Sturmpioneers might get up. Yes, absolutely murdered there. Same counter the BR and the Thompson. Obviously, and Fox pushing up here with a puncher strike as well. And looks like the cafe is about to collapse. And the Sturmpioneers over here were absolutely wiped out. A bit of a reckless move there by Evanescent, which IronFox was easily able to exploit and knock out. And a Major as well, so looks like he's already aiming for armor. 50 cal here, slowing up the advance of the Germans. Fox trying to make their way. Not quite successfully. Punching up in the bit. Oh! That was a bit of luck. They actually got wrecked before anything happened to them. And there you go, looks like Major was able to call in some artillery. Which is, by the way, an ability he does actually have. Virtually 4 there for the Panzer Fusiliers. Artillery going down there, so for not hitting a single German soldier. Some really poorly directed artillery for once. And the Obersoldaten managed to dodge the grenade. And there you go. Panzer Kampfwagen 5 on the way. 50 caliber also close to getting wiped out. The infantry is continuing to fire with 50 caliber, needs to fall back. So quick fun. Oh, get the hell out of there, Jack. And there go Quarterman. Oh, well, not Quarterman, but a half just firing away there. Obersoldaten almost wiped out. Panzer Fusiliers pinned to the ground. Oh dear, no, move in the Raketenwerfer, Evanescent. 9. And that just results in an utter massacre there of the crew. And there you go, Panzer Kampfwagen 5, Panzer arrives to support Deutschland. And I do believe it is time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is Evanescent is very much on the back foot. He's been rather banging his head the wall a bit too much here, trying to break through IronFox where he's strong instead of trying to outmaneuver him, sort of trying to catch him a bit off guard instead. Also not been securing that victory point as well. So that to a certain extent has been slightly more playing to the advantage here of IronFox. In fact, he's now handed over 2 Raketenwerfers to him as well. So right now the situation for Evanescent is a bit pressured. He needs to sort of break out and needs to do so a bit more properly, so he needs to sort of slightly switch his axis of attack, although now with a Panther available, things are maybe going to look a bit better there. He's actually got some armor of some kind. He could also reasonably equip with an MG42 in the near future. That would certainly also help him quite a bit. An infantry push then maybe following up here with armor, clearing out the fighting position there and then dealing with any enemy armor would probably help him out quite a bit, if anything. And he should probably also get this Volkswagen squad here actually moving. I mean, all of the fighting else, I think he can start to sort of begin moving these gentlemen over here to do something else. Secure the victory point there again and sort of grab some territory. And then strike up towards here, I think would work quite nicely. And also in terms of damage, they're reasonably equal. Even in terms of kills, they're very close. Also noting he's got plenty of ammunition, in fact tons of ammunition there. We got a P-47 rocket strafe available, though interesting enough, no upgrades whatsoever towards either bazookas or BARs. A bit disappointing in that. Would have figured with the infantry he had, he might at least consider a pair of bazookas or some BARs or something to sort of help with things at the very least, but so far it would seem to be not the case. And a Sherman though is on the way, but also noting again 2 Raketenwerfers, he should reinforce them, heal them, and I think he should try and put them up in some buildings here and there to sort of make it harder for his opponent to move around any armor in some regards. Because enemy armor is inbound, he certainly should be figuring that since he's seen practically nothing in that department for quite some time. So the faster he sort of reacts on that, the better. The field cache, by the way, here being a good move, a really nice move, and he should also consider dispatching some troops over here to harass and perhaps go for the fuel point again. Sort of try to draw out some forces of Evanescence. Also, considering the commander is gone, I've actually not really seen much of it. No Pathfinders, no 50 caliber, no airborne, no anti-tank gun. I mean, so far all he has is the P-47 rocket strafe, so he might want to actually mix or use with his commander. I mean, paratroopers with a pair of light machine guns would actually work quite well. And an anti-tank gun would not be better. Then again, he'd better off just training it here in his base, since that would overall be cheaper in terms of manpower expenditures. So there's also a little thing there to keep in mind for him. But let's return to the fight. Panther rolls forwards with no infantry support. Need to be careful there, Evanescent. Vorsicht. Clad in dunkelgelb or dark yellow. Actually, by the time of the Ardennes, dunkelgelb was actually on the way out and was actually meant to be replaced with dark green or dunkelgrün. So, little comment there on colours.
Listen up, men.
The troops enforcing. And there we go. Panther turning its mighty turret and getting off a nice hit there by the looks of it already.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Machine guns firing as well. Infantry shots coming under fire from the captain. So the captain might turn to flank. And of course at the same time he could consider calling in a rocket strafe here against the Panther. Unleash the P-47. And there you go, captain trying to flank. Interesting enough, he's not trying to sort of call in anything. Right now, in fact, it would be perfect if he calls it around here, because that might even the route out is actually a bit covered. Come on, why aren't you calling in any air support? Officer moving up there, captain out in the open, taking quite a bit of damage there from the Panther. Don't underestimate that. Too slow there, I feel too slow. At the same time, move towards here. Grenade going off there, almost getting the false clears, almost, but not quite. Panther heavily damaged. There we go, infantry finally following up in support of the Panther. Orbital darting Panzer Fusiliers going to move up here. They're straight into the 50 caliber. Sham engaging. Raketenwerfer also going up. And then we're going to use an arm. Need to be careful. Need to be careful. Get the Sherman out. Get the Sherman out. IronFox. Still no sign of the air support. And there we go. A bit too slow there, a bit too slow, and there we go, finally calling in some air support, though I think could have done that a lot earlier. Infantry up here getting murdered, and... no sign on the P-47 so far. He's firing off, interesting. There you go, firing though. Rather poorly though, rather poorly. Apparently the pilot's blind, or drunk. Maybe both. That really has to be the absolute worst strafing run I've ever seen yet. And of course it's strafing across the base here. That's also a reason he probably shouldn't have been crawling in that close, because, you know, there's a lot of flak here. Again, I'm surprised he didn't do it here. So overall, some rather odd play there from IronFox. Not really very efficient. That certainly allowed, I think, the Panther to survive again. Had he called in there, I think chances of survival would have been a lot more grim, a lot more bleak. We finally managed to clear things out over here. We're going to go towards the point there. Victory punch going to take down there, and again, Evanescent really need to strike out in the zone and get back those points. And there we go, launching another infantry assault. Panzer Fusiliers with the Obersoldaten and Offizier. Folks moving on now on the right hand side. On the other hand, Raven here under not for fire, and they need to get out of there. Those Offizier-led Obersoldaten are a nightmare. And there we go, wiped out, kaput, tot. And veteran revive here for the Panzer Fusiliers, actually allowing them to sprint on their own. A neat little ability, by the way.
Knock it off and listen up.
Engaging the riflemen.
A capture point is under attack. Orders.
And actually using, oh no, mind, they had to kill the officer with the grenade, but also actually being targeted there to make them easier to kill. And looks like the, well, Infanteriegeschütz did the job then. Lovely. Wunderbar. Well, the United States could send a bit more aggressive. Another Sherman on the way.
100 points.
Still a bit surprised he hasn't been a bit more aggressive. He seems to have gone a bit too passive here. Something you always have to be mindful of is getting too passive. I'm still a bit surprised he hasn't placed up Raketenwerfer a bit better. But there you go, Panther ready on the move once more, getting the rear clone troops here. Pentamark machine gun up as well. Bazookas flying through the air. Well, Bazooka was actually the Raketenwerfer. Gaining veterans one, allowing it to cloak. Volksker's moving up. And another hit by the looks of it there on the Panther. Captain though needs to get away. He's not going to win against that much infantry. But looks like the captain... Ooh! A fake rapid barrage. He's trying to fake his opponent out. You could still call in another rocket strafe if you fancied. Still a bit of light artillery's work fire from here, and infantry moving up across the west flank. Panzer Fusiliers and the Obersoldaten. One being stopped here by the 50 caliber.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And a second Sherman available here for IronFox. So at the same time, he knows his opponent has a Panther, so he'd probably be better off actually getting a Jackson to try and deal with that first, more securely. Since he's largely got the infantry under control here, to be honest, the 50 caliber here definitely doing a lot of nasty work.
We're losing a capture point.
Looks like that is not quite within the intentions of IronFox so far. Ooh, Rifleman caught in negative cover here by the Obersoldaten. That's practically a death sentence. Don't underestimate those killers. Volksker's Obersoldaten under heavy fire. 18 kills by the Sturmoffizier. He's definitely doing the work there well. And a half-tech moving up and rapidly firing away as well. Needs some support though. The Panther would do well. Points continue to drain down, although he's slightly getting a bit of grip on them there. And oh, Panther charging up the center, coming on fire for the Panzerwerfer and the Sherman. Well, the Panzerwerfer. Keep calling it a Panzerwerfer for some reason. Sherman took quite a bit of damage there. Officer forced away, but oh, looks like he'll finally lose him. And there we go. Too slow to retreat there. Evanescent wasted an otherwise solid officer. Also got the Mechanized Regiment headquarters up to allow repairs of the Panther. That's lovely. But he needs to sharpen up his offensive efforts. And what do we get here? An anti-aircraft half-tech out there to support. Lovely. Still Evanescent again. Feels a bit too passive. Again, he should try to sort of move a bit more aggressively ahead. Try to mark up territory. Push back. Maybe lay down some barbed wire here and there. Or some sandbags, for example, for the 50 caliber. That is possible. Or maybe some tank traps could also maybe work a bit. Fighting positions. I mean, there's a lot of options. But sadly, IronFox seems very, should we say, lazy. Rather feels like he's already got this and holding back a bit too much, maybe. And there we go. Oh, moving ahead, the half-track on his own. A bit of a risky maneuver. There we go. Anti-tank rifle grenade. Damaging the engine here of the flak half-track. He should have sent infantry in first before sending that in. And now we see IronFox is swift to respond. He realizes his opponent's got a damaged vehicle over there. And again, a damaged vehicle is a very bad thing for the Oberkommando. And the Sherman is rapidly dispatched to take advantage of that. Captain needs to get out of there though. That building's about to collapse like a house of cards. One more hit and there we go. The captain is dead. Bit too slow then pulling out. I'm noting the 50 cats pulls the West well. A half takes nowhere needs to be seen as well. So there we go. Successful assault going in. Panther following up. At the same time, though, the Sherman is getting the flak half track. So small victory there. Still got missions for the rocket strafe. You really should try and get that off on the Panther properly.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being
Another unit down. He's really suffering heavily now in the face of Evanescent. And like Ketmev was moving up, but nothing to come, and they move straight into the orbital down now. IronFox repeating mistake. That Evanescent there, and still no sign of the rocket strafe. Sherman down, amerikanischer Panzer kaputt. Now he calls in. I can't help but feel it's a bit too little too late here with him. There we go. Nice series of strikes, but again, a bit too late. Didn't do too much in the end. Could have done better. And there we go. The Major got wiped out as well. Some insane losses right there for the 2nd Infantry Division. Second move here from the D-47. And looks like the ambulance went down finally as well. Just down to the A half track. And over to Evanescent. His forces themselves also better, but still, he's got the tank. He's got the Panther, his opponent doesn't. Orbital done though, close to getting wiped out. He needs to be a bit careful around that. And... oh no! The P-47 got shot down and crashed down into the enemy air half-track. And a building, an absolute massacre right there. They probably would have gone down either way though if it wasn't the Panther that did it. Still, rather interesting, the entire right part here has been turned into a small inferno. Evanescent Soldaten are barely holding on here for dear life. Booby trap is an option. Booby trap. More orbital Soldaten on the way. Good, good. He's actually got plenty of manpower. So he should probably consider getting some more troops out on the field because the victory points are not looking in his favour. At the same time, knocked. One thing to keep in mind, be careful where you drop down your airborne. There's actually a chance that they can actually get killed if they don't land correctly. So, a little note there, and poor Jack there went down. Head first into a brick wall. Brick wall 1. Another Sherman. Now, it's still surprised he keeps getting Shermans. I mean, there's nothing wrong in the Sherman, but when your opponent does have a Panther, in particular one Vetri 2, you generally imagine your opponent aim for a Jackson, a tank destroyer, to help deal with a Panther, instead of Shermans, which aren't exactly known for their Panther wrecking properties. At least not the 75mm version.
Unit ready. Officer ready to be deployed.
Still desperately clinging on to the victory points, feeling he might still be able to wring out a victory, which could certainly be true. You should try and get these paratroopers upgraded. Any weapons they can muster would be good. Also no resource exchanges here on the mechanized regiment headquarters. Moving up, and there you go. Browning's up there, and just notice the officer charges in there a bit recklessly. He's just getting absolutely his men murdered. And the result is rather swift and conclusive. Meanwhile, Panther was fighting here, tearing apart the rifleman. Orbital gun moving up. And Sherman took a nasty hit there from the Panther. The Panther ready to strike once more. Airborne needs to get away as well. The Orbital gun here, of course, proving to be quite stalwart soldiers. And a combat blitz of increasing speed, allowing it to charge ahead rather rapidly. Though it rather lowers the reload speed and the accuracy. So it can't fire very much, but there you go. Got the airborne as well, by the way. Another orbital done covering the road intersection here. Quickly put a stop to that, and now there's practically nothing left that IronFox has to really stop the advance of the Führerbegleitbrigade. And 3 Shermans have been lost in this battle. Panzer not really angled correctly, and there go. Vetri fall for these orbital darten. Rear echelon troops getting absolutely massacred in the process. All 3 victory points now rapidly falling into the hands of the Germans, of the Reich. And there we go, Raketenwerfer finally in the range to shoot at the Panther. Doing a nice bit of damage, 50 caliber doing what it can, but having a bit of trouble here. Panther moving forwards, crushing beneath its threats and shooting away with machine guns point blank. And there we go, Raketenwerfer sorted out. And there we go, 50 caliber down as well. And overall, bad situation here for IronFox in the 2nd Infantry Division. The losses have been catastrophic. It went so well, and they got complacent. And there you go, surrendered. Game over. Game over. That was not quite intentional, there we go, but game over. A loss to the United States. Finally getting a Jackson, by the way, but by then it was already too bloody late. But a very interesting fight here between 2 good players, or at least reasonably good players. Some nice action, but again, the problem essentially came to be to some extent by the mid-game. Both players got a bit uncreative. For Evanescent, it rather was a tactics basically came just trying to break down in the center, no flanking, no maneuver, overall gaining very little traction, suffering a lot of losses, handing over several Raketenwerfer to his opponent. But then what happened is IronFox himself got a bit lazy and basically just hung around the center, didn't try to defend flanks very much, even tried to sort of keep pressuring his opponent, allowing Evanescent to build up a force, getting a Panther, and then came the second mistake, which was that IronFox didn't react very well to it. He didn't use his Raketenwerfers very well, but even then, you know, he kept pouring Shermans out, and he was rather poor in timing his P-47 rocket runs. And, you know, that to a certain extent didn't help much too late in actually getting a tank destroyer, even getting some anti-tank guns, which could have helped immensely versus the Panther. And I also have to say, overall, he didn't make very good use of his commander. So there were some issues there, I do feel. But in the end, I mean, you know, those mistakes were greater than the mistakes that Evanescent made, and in the end, Evanescent was then able to pull through the power of the Panther and some elite infantry. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay your own or provide some feedback in the comments. Also, feel free to follow me on Facebook or Twitter for further updates and other fun things. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and see you all tomorrow.